What you are about to see is our conversation with the Revel Sailing Team. The Revel Sailing Team is a student project that began at the University of La Spezia in Italy in the mid-2010s. Its main goal at that time was to design, engineer, and build a sailing boat to compete in the 1000 Vela Cup, which is an international regatta where university students design, build, and race innovative sailing boats. But after its participation, time moved on, the students graduated, and with no new members to carry it forward, the team, its knowledge, its experience, everything faded away. And this until 2023. That year, a new group of students decided to bring the project back to life. Once again, with the 1001 Vela Cup in mind, they refitted Corsair, the team's old boat, and began designing a completely new one from scratch, whose name is Alba. Despite facing time constraints during their first participation, with Alba in the 2024 race, the team gained valuable experience and still managed to achieve an impressive third place with Corsair. This year, in 2025, with more time to design, build, and test, their hard work paid off, earning a second place with Corsair and a third place with Alba. Now the team is looking ahead to new challenges, and the new challenge now is the Foiling Sumoth Challenge, also known as the Sumoth Race. It is a student-led innovation competition that focuses on designing, building, and sailing sustainable foiling sailing boats within the international moth class. The Sumoth Challenge is a comprehensive project that evaluates teams not only on performance, but also on sustainability, material selection, and manufacturing processes. We hope you'll enjoy it, and without further ado, let's hear their story.
Okay, so we are live. We are live with Lorenzo and Andrea. We have Lorenzo and Andrea in Italy, in La Spezia. We will know more about that and why they are there now in a few minutes, and also with Winston in Canada, in St. John's. Winston and I, we are going to co-host this conversation with the Revel Sailing Team. Revel Sailing Team, it is a student sailing team that I knew about, I think, already 1 year and a half ago, 2 years and a half ago. You first contacted me, and we have been sharing a lot of information, and I really liked what you were doing. Finally, we decided that we had to sponsor you guys because you are doing a great job, and we are very, very happy to be supporting your project and what you're doing. So, how are you, Andrea?
Pretty good. Very good. Happy to do this.
Can you maybe give some background? So you are both students, in which year?
So hi, I'm Andrea Boroni. I am a master student of yacht design at the University of Genoa, and I live in La Spezia. I am a sailor, and I'm also part of this fabulous team that we're gonna talk about today.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, I'm Lorenzo Belli. I'm also a student here in La Spezia. I'm in between the bachelor and the master's degree, and I'm writing my bachelor thesis, and I'm also part of the Revel Sailing Team. And when I can, I go sailing as well.
Okay. You mentioned sailing. Sailing is something that you now started in university, or something you started when you were already young? Maybe in the family. Yeah, well, go
Nobody
ahead.
in my family was a sailor, but they threw me onto it quite early, and I've been sailing ever since.
My family, no one is a sailor, and we are from the mountains, so it's very far from the sea. And I've always had a passion for sailboats. And then for my 18th birthday, they gifted me a sailing course in a lake where there's no wind, but anyway. And from there, it just went on, and right now I'm studying boats.
Okay. No wind, no waves, I guess.
No.
So we've had similar experiences. I teach naval architecture technology at Memorial University at the Marine Institute, and we've had students show up. You know, Canada's very large, and of course we have the prairies in the middle where all the farms are. So there's wheat fields and, going on for, miles and miles and miles. And people show up and they just go, well, I'm interested in learning how to design ships and boats. And I've never done it before, but here I am, so, the background is great. So, Andrea, how did you get interested in the boat side of things?
So I used to live near Regatta when I was a kid. So I had some experiences on the lake. Then I started doing some federation work, some small regattas as a kid. Moved up through the classes. I've done some 49er until last year, and now I'm just finishing up my studies, doing whatever I can on the water. And yeah, I've always liked it, and I always wanted to find my place in the water, you know.
Yeah. So design for you is just sort of a natural progression from, awesome. Very cool.
Just the more I understand, the better I can handle it. That's my
Right.
idea, at least.
Yeah. Awesome.
What about you, Lorenzo? So how you decided to start to study naval architecture?
I always liked boats, especially sailing boats. And I have a mind that is very practical. I want to understand how things work and how to build things. And so I don't know how it went from a kid liking boats to deciding to go to study boats, but it happened. And yeah, I'm very happy that I did this decision. When I had to decide which university to go, I was looking at aerospace, naval engineering, and a whole host of engineering. And I ended up choosing naval engineering, so I'm very happy about it.
You can find also many commonalities between both, I guess. There are materials, there's a lot of physics, hydrodynamics, especially also for sailing craft. So the part of aero and hydro, it is very, very high as well. The Revel Sailing Team. So can you explain us a little what it is, how do you started there, and how this project started itself? Andrea, now?
Yeah, okay. So from what I understood, I wasn't really involved in the embryonal state of the project. I was brought on board later. But from what I understood, there was this, this image of this student activity, this student-driven activity inside of the university that was happening until 2015, maybe. Yes. So the sailing team that was carrying out our objectives and our project used to happen back when. Then there was some discontinuation because there were not enough people interested, or I don't really know about it. But as soon as we got into the university in 2021, we heard about this. We walked around, we saw the trophies from the regattas from back when, and we got interested. We started building up, creating a network of students that were interested, that were ready to put their skill on the test. And yeah, just started, and now we're here.
I suppose it is something that you created because you are going to learn a lot of things that are going to be very useful. So that will be part. But what it is and what are you trying to achieve on the knowledge side as well, and also in the competition side? And
so the sailing team is a student association that's born under the umbrella University of Genoa that tries and strives to compete, participate, and bring innovation into the university sailing, dinghy sailing competition in Italy and in Europe as well, if we manage. Yeah, so what we did, our aims was to reinstate the project, get a hold of what was done, and we got Corsara, which is the old boat, the old lady, as we call it, get ready operational again. And then we built our first fully built in-house R3 class skiff, which is Alba. And now we are aiming to compete. And those two were both R3 designs, so they were able to compete in the 1001 Vela Cup regatta, which is a yearly regatta, where a lot of universities from Italy and even Germany, from what I understand,
Karlsruhe also
compete. And now we are designing and trying to build a MOF class to participate in the Sumot competition, which is, bit of a step up. Yeah, but these are our aims, and so bringing forward the potential that this university has and this student group has in whatever competition we can get our interest in.
And also the more intrinsic aim is to put into practice what we learn during the courses, during the years, during our degrees. And so seeing how it's actually built a boat, and not just saying, yeah, we put some fiberglass together and that's a boat, but you need to actually do it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Of course.
How do you find new members for the team? It is when you go class to class and you present the project, or you use some special events at the university, or how do you do? Because I know now you're in the process, you want to still grow the team and you are looking for new skills. And maybe you're also looking for people outside of naval architecture. This is something that maybe you are also considering. I don't know. So from aerospace or any other university around. So how it is this process of getting in touch of new people and presenting the project and get them involved into it? Yep.
Well,
Lorenzo?
more or less, we put out leaflets with the description of the team, and we invite people to some event where we present the team to anyone who is interested. And from there, you can apply to the team. You say which part of the team you want to be, if the production team and the management or whatever department. And then from there is, of course, a selection. And at first, we pretty much get every people that came in. We just needed people, so we grew a lot. From last year, we started doing proper selections, if you can say about that, where we specifically looked for people that really had a passion, or maybe had already some competence in some of the things we were interested. And because right now we are still quite a good number, I don't think anyone left the team this year because they finished the studies, as opposed to last year where we lost quite a number of people, so we had to replace them essentially. So it's more of replacing people that are getting out of university and moving on to the naval industry and so on. So yeah, that's pretty much the recruiting process. And from there is when we are part of the team, there is a learning process where you both theoretical and practical. We show them how we do stuff. For example, I'm in the production team. So, for example, if there's some work to be done on the boats, we highly encourage people to come and see what we're doing and to help us laminate if we need to laminate something, so they see how you laminate, which is not something that many people can say they know how to do.
Yeah, and to answer to the second half of the question, our university is a side dispatchment of the University of Genoa in La Spezia, and there's currently 4 courses in here, which is nautical engineering, design of the nautical sector, and then mechanical engineering and doctorate sub courses. I can't really describe it in English, but still, like, we're really focused. And there's I think 600 people. How many are we, Lorenzo? Do you know?
I think 1,000, about 1,000 between
1,000 people.
everything.
I haven't seen 400 then. And yeah, so it's a pretty small but really connected university. So also there's a lot of, visibility and communication between different people, and we get a lot of interest from that as well.
Yeah, to add to that, we would like to also include people from Genova, but it's really hard to get to them because in Genova there's a lot of projects, so it's hard to connect with them. So maybe we can connect them with this interview or with other things that maybe we can talk later of what we're doing.
I heard that you are like 600 people in La Spezia. You mean all of them are studying small craft and recreational craft?
No, all is in La Spezia, which is economy, mechanical engineering, naval engineering, and design. Within all of that, we are about 1,000 people, about 1,000 students.
If only this conversation will help to many other universities to have this idea. So I guess this is a multi-phase thing. I suppose that there has to be in the different countries different competitions focusing for students, so that people decide to create these teams in the universities and create these programs. So that will be also a very good idea. That if this idea, what you are doing in Italy, that may exist in other places for sure, can be also exported to other countries. So people decide to make competitions for universities.
Can I plug Memorial University for a minute? Yeah, we have a team as well, but it's a sail bot competition that we compete in. So it's a similar idea where students come together and they're building the craft, they're doing the lamination, the layups, but it's electronically, like it's a drone. So it's basically controlled automatically, right? So there's electronics in there, and so the mechanical engineers and the electrical guys and the software guys, and there's a fairly big competition here in North America for that, the Sailbot competition. So I mean, it's interesting. It's kind of a different take on the sailing, but it's still kind of a neat thing. So maybe you can get your mechanical engineers involved. They could do something too.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, there's in Genova, there's a similar team to what I think you are referring to, that is called Electra. They compete in this race where they have to build an electric catamaran.
Oh, interesting.
And the hulls are monotype, so they are all the same. You can decide to build them, but they are to the same specs as everyone else. So what changes is the motor and how do you deal with the power unit of the boat.
Right.
So I think it's more similar to that.
Yeah.
And
it is also unmanned, or it is just the
No, it's manned.
It's
there
manned
is a
in this case.
Yeah. Ours are unmanned. Yeah.
Sailing Revel Team, it is not new. So you started already several years ago. For sometimes I think you were always focusing on competing on the one Vela Cup. But for some time you decided not to compete anymore, maybe because there were not resources enough, or I don't know. Yeah.
For what I understood, the previous team was like towards the ends were like 7-10 people, and then they essentially got out of the university because they finished their studies, and so the team died there. So they couldn't renew the team, and maybe there wasn't this much of a recruiting effort or interest in the sailing competition. Also because they tended to not to build new boats, but to keep refitting the same boat and to improving them, which is not wrong, but it's not maybe eye-catching for new people, newcomers. While what we're doing is starting the project. We started the idea of the project started in July 23, and in July 24 we were building the boat. So we went from not existing as team to building a boat in a year. And now we decided not to do the mod immediately, but to take a 2-year process, which is more 1.5 years, but still, to design meticulously and think what we are building, and then to build a mod, which we should start building now in this winter, if they finish the drawing.
Yeah, and to keep the production guys, busy with something, we also, kept improving Alba and our latest design, and we had pretty heavy refits going on that changed both the looks and the performance, from what I understood. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a lot of stuff going on.
So you decided to come back to competition in 2023. You compete first time in 2024 for the 1001 Vela Cup.
Yes.
And you decided then to keep on doing. And this year, for the first time, you are now considering also to join the Sumot. Yeah, the Sumot competition as well. And for that, you are creating the new craft. So we understand. So you have this old craft it was Corsara, right?
Corsara.
And then when you decided to come back to competition, you had to refit it and redesign somehow. And also you decided to create a new boat to compete also in that 1001 Vela Cup
Yes.
as well, which is Alba. How it is the process? And how do you split the work internally between one boat and the other? Interfunctional teams working on both, and how it is the process for designing or refitting one of the boats you have?
Well, the first step with Corsara was to take it out of where it was stored and see how the condition were, and to put all the deck hardware back in place and try to get there sailing. But we couldn't modify her too much because the university didn't allow us, since we were new, they didn't know if we were trustworthy or not. So they asked us not to completely change everything, but to keep her. And in the meantime, that the boat was sometimes sailing when the sailors could, they were also providing feedback to the design team. So like how to the balance between the sails, because within the archery class you have 33 square meters of sail, and you can allocate them between the 3 sails you have, but it's free how you can allocate them. So you can put everything in the main and nothing in the other 2, or some combinations. So what they saw and what they decided to do is to put a bit more in the jib and a bit less in the main, keeping quite a big spinnaker, for example. And also with the shape of the hull, Corsara, as a hull, it's fairly similar to the 49er hull. It's quite similar. While Alba, we decided to make it a bit different and try something a bit new. So it doesn't have a rocker, for example. So the stern is completely submerged, and that was kind of a problem because when there's not enough wind to detach the flow on the stern, it's a lot of vortices, so a lot of resistance. But then when it gets on a plane, it's better than others. So it's really a balance of all these things. And so it's all trial and error and seeing what works and what not, and to keep improving what you think is a good idea and then keep improving.
Yeah, we also spent some time trying to understand what our previous previous members of the team back in the day did, and what was their thought process, so that we could bring some continuity to the whole idea. So we got the design, also like the computer and scantlings and everything from Coursera, and we really started from there and improved where we can and change what we like.
Okay, very interesting. So you use the hull you already had and the craft you already had to learn and gain some experience and to put this into requirements and inputs for Alba for the second one. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. And now that you are just focusing on the new competition, the sumo, this is quite a big jump. So now we are not. It is a completely different craft, foiling craft, with flying control or flying control. And so who decide that? Is this something that you already have the skills in the team, or you say, well, we have to go and to aim for this goal because like this, we are going to bring all the skills and learn all we need, and we are going to develop all the capabilities and make it, or you have the kind of skills or in the group, in the team already, and how far are you in the design?
So yeah, it was pretty interesting idea to compete in this competition. Pretty big jump, as you said. We're moving from a planing hull to a foiling hull. A lot of more intricacies going on as well in that, because it's a smaller boat with about 4 or 5 times the parts. So yeah, it's a really good challenge. we've been working on it for about a year now. Yeah, I'd say a year. There's I am in the design part of the team. I did not say that until now. And yeah, so there's 10 of us. We all have our different, specialities. We all like different stuff. For example, I am the whole guy, so that's what I've been doing for this entire time. So I've researched, analyzed, and came up with some different hull designs. And now we've, for example, chosen the hull, and we are moving into production for that. There's then a couple of people that are really interested in the whole potential theory and CFDs and really, really, really high-level hydrodynamics. And so they jumped on board and started designing the foils. There's people with a bachelor's background in mechanical engineering that now moved into the master and the nautical sector. And so we also have some, that know how Fusion 360 practical skills to do all those machinings and parts that we need, because it's not a boat anymore. It's more like a spaceship in my view. Yeah, yeah. Lots and lots of parts, lots of things to consider.
That doesn't sound like so much fun for the hull guy. If the hull's completely out of the water all the time,
Yeah, being more of a aerodynamics than
exactly. Yeah.
But there's still some relevance to it, but it's definitely less than on a traditional craft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How is the kind of the feedback loop from your studies to the practical application of working in this team? Do you see a direct correlation? Does it make you a better student? And being a student, does it make you a more passionate sailor or a better builder, would you say? Or how do you find the connection there?
So there's definitely a feedback loop going on in which I get interested in subjects in class or with exam studies. And then I move into the lab, into the design team, and I'm just like bringing everything that I've just learned. And since many of us are from the master, but there's also people, quite like a couple of years behind that are still, curious. They have their eyes open all the time. They don't understand really what's going on when the things start to be hard. And, we just put into practice what we learn. In Italy, university is really, really theoretical. We go really deep into the, generalized descriptions of everything, and having a chance to actually, really get a feeling for what we will do in our life, which is, talking with the practicals as well. It's not just theoreticals. And so also the courses at the university are all relevant, maybe some more, some less, but still there's a lot of connection between what we do and what we study.
Yeah, something I noticed to what Andrea said is that when you design something in a CAD program, you don't really think that thing that you're designing, someone has to build it. So, right. For example, one thing that I always say is at the bow of Alba, it's very narrow, especially on the bottom. And if you need to laminate in there, it's really hard. And you don't think about that when you're designing the boat. But then when you are actually doing it, you hope that you thought about that.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely, yeah.
It's full of things like this that you don't think about it, and then you find yourself having to do it, and you think about them. And so that makes you a better designer also in that sense, because now that you saw that you need to think about these things, next time you're going to think about them.
Yeah, because you are not only designing, so we already say that you're also building, and you are building your own molds, and you are laminating yourself. How is this process? I understand in this case it is you, Lorenzo, who is part of the team of building, right? Or manufacturing?
Yeah, I am with the production team.
So are you some drawings that are handled to you, and then you create drawings for the molds, or how do you work?
This year we are doing these things, so getting the design for the boat and then designing the mold according to what the design team gives us as the drawing of the hull. Always, of course, talking with them to understand how it needs to be built. While last year, when we built Alba, there was an additional team that was the engineering team. So they had to design the mold, but we saw that really didn't really work. There was not enough communication between the production team and the design team to make it work. So now the two teams are together in the production team. So we are talking a lot more with the design team to understand what they are trying to achieve and how we can achieve it from a production standpoint. For example, right now we will be designing the mold for the mod. We should be starting to do that right now. And it's going to be quite different from last year for 2 years ago, really. For that reason, that there's a direct communication between us.
Do you have also some testing facilities as well, or you go directly and you test in some kind of prototypes there? Yeah.
Last boat, we didn't have any test. We trusted what we were said by the producer of the fibers and whatever. This year, we actually laminated yesterday some test samples to be put in the machine to pull it and actually see what's the material properties.
Perfect.
And we started doing it this year. It's a very long process, and we actually came to laminate it just yesterday. And but we are thinking and designing and doing all this stuff to prepare for this campaign from last year. So it's been a year of trying to understand how the test works and how we can really learn from these tests. And because you cannot just put a piece of material there, but you need to follow certain standards to understand how one material behaves compared to the other. And when we'll have the results from these tests, we will be using the results to improve the scantling for the mod, for example. So that's going to be very useful. And we started doing now.
Okay, so you compete this year in the 1001 Vela Cup, and I think we know that you did very well. So can you explain? So you compete with the two boats, and you had very good positions for both. How was the experience?
It was amazing. The previous year there was a very small group with both the boats as this year.
Mm-hmm.
But Alba was just fresh from the shipyard. We put her in the water on the Tuesday, and the regatta was on the Friday. So yeah, 3 days there in Trieste to try the boat and understand how it worked. This year we had a bit more time.
Did you have any problem, a structural problem or anything? Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the rudder system was very problematic, and it keeps being problematic. But I think that's the problems we had this year from problems. It's something that is all across the fleet, so it's not just us. So last year, what we did is the pinion engines from the stern to the rudder were not strong enough because we tried building them, but they were just not up to the task, and we kept having problems with them. So this year we fallen back to production off the shelves once.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lot better. It's a lot better system. And also as Andrea said before, we changed the boat quite a bit. And from last year, where Corsara almost came in third, like for a few points, and Alba had a few problems. So one day of the regatta, she couldn't get out. So it's really at the back of the fleet. as far as points are concerned. While this year it was a much bigger group. We tried to invite as many people as possible from the team to go to Milano to follow the regatta, as opposed to last year where just a few went. And that's really important for the team building, because you actually see what you're working towards. And with all the work we did, we understand the boat a lot better. And the sailor had a lot more time to prepare to train on the boat, because one would think that they are fairly similar to other skiffs like the 49er, but they're really different. And so it's not the same. You have to train on those boats. And also going from Alba to Corsara, they are different boats. They have to be handled in different ways. So you need to train a lot, and this time they had enough time to learn, to train. And we see the results. We came in the second with Corsara and third with Alba. And the distance from the fleet between the first 2-3 boats and the rest of the fleet was really big. So we're quite happy of the result.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Thank you.
We were following that, and we were very happy to see that. And you mentioned the 2 boats, so you have 2 different teams, right? Sailor teams. So it is one who is specialized in Corsara and the other with Alba, or how are you handling that?
Well, they are all trying all the boats, but then when say the sailor team that for the specific boats, then they try to train more on that boat. One thing that we had last year, we only could have 1 boat in the water at one time, because they didn't have the space for a second boat. While this year, they're probably going to give us a second place, so we could keep both boats there. And so, 2 boat testings is important to see the improvement. So they always went with both boats, and then according to what the specific sailor felt better with one boat or the other, we decided the sailors for the actual boat during the regatta.
Okay, very, very interesting.
Can I just ask a question? Like, who are you competing against? Is this other universities, or is that the game? Is that what you guys are doing?
There's many universities from Italy and a couple from Germany. So there's University of Milan, Padua, still, I guess. There used to be Trieste. Then there's Palermo. Lorenzo, help me. I can't remember them all.
Palermo, yeah, but they had Palermo only has the foiling skiffs, not the displacements.
So it was Politecnico di Milano, Padova, Torino, Karlsruhe from Germany.
Yes.
Yeah.
2 teams. Basically, it's all because many of for example, Padova had 2 teams as well. Palermo also 2 teams, or just one?
No, just one.
Only one. Yeah. And Torino with 2 teams, and Milano, who came first, only 1 team, right? So it is.
They have multiple boats, but it's the same team. It's like us. They have 2 boats.
Okay. Yeah. They are not, or at least not into the 10 first here. So my understanding about the 1001 Vela Cup, it is that it is open for every university. So the only thing is that you have to be a student from one university. And I'm not sure it is even just an European thing. It could be a worldwide. And
it's international. Then it's very Italian as a competition, Milano Vela Cup. And from a few years back, also a couple in German university joined, but it's mainly Italian. While Sumo Challenge is a proper international competition, there's teams from all over the world.
Yeah, I guess also that the logistics part for university teams, it is a difficult thing because there is a lot of budget involved for moving the boats around and moving to. So if you are in another university in the north side of Europe, I'm thinking now, for example, Finland, maybe it is not that easy to move and compete just for 1 week in Italy and so on. I guess this is why one of the reasons why you are very Italian focused. And the Sumo on the other side, is it a student focus or it is?
Is a university, so students competition, but is within the World Championship for the mod class.
Mod class, yeah.
So it's in the same week, but for there's the student regatta and also the World Championship. So it's a bit different, but it's a lot cool. It's very nice to see the proper mod boats that are production boats, so it's a lot of carbon, for example, and what's the difference in performance. And also the most things, I didn't go this year to the Sumo Challenge, but few of us went, maybe Andrea, I don't know if you went.
No, luckily.
One thing that they said is that the difference in handling between professional sailors in the mod class and us students is abysmal. So there's a very big difference. And also with the, I've been told that the professional boats, they tend to maybe weigh the boat a bit more, like having a bit more weight on the boat, especially in the bulb where the T-foil underwater, while the student boats tend to be, it needs to be as light as possible and all these things. So different in philosophy also for not only the building but also the handling.
You are really constrained on the budget, so you cannot go over a certain level of budget. And also you are, for both competitions, so you are really focusing on new materials regarding recycling. So I think you get rid of carbon fiber, you are using flex and some other materials that are more environmentally friendly, right? Or
so in the 1001 Vela Cup challenge, the rule box introduced that 75% of the weight of the boat has to be in biocompatible materials. That means biodegradable and upcycled materials from waste. And instead, in the Sumo challenge, there's even another layer of, in my opinion, it's a difficulty and also a reward, in the sense that it's all thought out as a virtual budget that kind of evens out the possibilities for all the different universities that are competing. For example, if we realize that we cannot make the foils ourselves and we want to try and contact an outside provider, not only we're going to have obviously to pay for the machine work, but that activity onto the report on the project report when we present and compete at the regatta, it's going to weigh a lot on this virtual Sumo dollars budget that we have. And so we're really incentivized also for every gram of carbon fiber that we put on board, or for every gram of glass that we put on board, there's also a penalty. So we're really incentivizing figuring out new solution to the big problems that we have right now in this kind of activities, which is
for the Sumo challenge, traditional, so carbon fiber, glass fiber are not explicitly forbidden, but you have to pay a lot more than the biocompatible one. While in the R3 class, so Milona Vela Cup, carbon is forbidden in the hull. You can use fiberglass, but it just needs to stay within the 75% of weight. But within that, you can do a lot. While there are very different philosophies in how you incentivize the use of newer fibers.
How are you guys finding the mechanical properties of the new stuff, the biodegradable fancy stuff? Can it compete with e-glass or carbon fiber at all yet, or are we still working towards that?
So for carbon fiber, it's a big difference, surely. But we are finding some positives. I'm not really into the mechanical properties material, not really in that kind of direction, but from what I understood by talking to my colleagues, there's some elasticity behaviors that are, could be good, but mainly the stiffness and the strength of these material is, subpar, but still operationally good. It can work, and we've made them work. So
right, perfect.
Yeah, for talking about the production side of things, we noticed that the flax fiber takes in a lot more resin than fiberglass with the same grammature.
Okay. Yeah.
Flax fiber takes a lot more resin, and also we saw that flax fiber with the same resin compared to fiberglass, it degrades the resin a lot faster when left in the sun. So the UV rays in the flax fiber, the matrix gets deteriorated a lot faster than in fiberglass. I don't know why, but that happens. So one other thing is the deck on Alba that we removed was completely, the resin was really degraded, and the flax fiber was spiancata. It became white.
Yeah. Bleached a bit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, where the other part of the deck where there was a flax fiber layer and on top a glass layer, that was perfect. Yeah. So they were kept it in the same way, but the difference was the flax on top and the glass on top.
Sounds like there's a master's thesis in there somewhere. Right. Yeah. Interesting.
We're putting our hands on things, and we are documenting quite a lot. So we're just doing research for fun. It's the whole idea, just trying out new things and seeing what happens, because nobody has done it before.
That's so great. Yeah, that's fantastic.
So are you in contact with people and companies, trying to get some help from them? Not only suppliers of materials, but also, real people working, building and designing boats?
For boats in flux, we are not in contact with anyone at the moment, I don't think. For the producers, of course, we are in contact with Mascherpa that provides us with the material for the boats. So we have communication with them also to understand how the flax fiber behaves. And also now we are doing the samples we were doing. We got a sample of bamboo fibers, and as part of this this campaign, sample campaign, and what we're going to do is to test these samples of bamboo, and they asked us to do also some hybrid material with flax and bamboo, and to test them and to get the results back to them as well, so that they can learn as well within this project that also helps us.
Okay, very, very interesting. So how you are organized? So you were part of the university first, but somehow now that you restarted the project, you saw that you need to fund the project, and being part of the university was not the good solution. So you decided to become a society, a part of. Can you explain now what you are and this process? What kind of organization you are? Or
well, before the first year, we were a group of students, but without any status, and we were linked with the CUS, which is University Center for Sports. And they are based in Genova. So everything that we had to do had to go through them before. So it was a lengthy process and lengthy, complicated, complex, and everything. So now we became a students' association within the university. And this means that we don't have to go through them as before, but we are more independent. For example, one very easy thing, if we have to buy like some turnbuckles for the boat, we had to go to the course and say, we need to buy this, and then go to the thing and give them the price, and then they would buy it and give it to us. Well, now we just go there and buy it. It's
Yeah,
a
so
lot easier.
the biggest difficulties and differences were the fact that all of our budget was, every time you asked us where we get a budget, there was some input from university. Obviously, they try to support all these activities that they're born in the nest. But then we also looked around for sponsorships, for real participations, and even contributions, like practical contributions, were really welcomed at the beginning. And yeah, all this obviously had to be in some sort verified and overseen by an entity, because we're still in the university. That's why we went with the course, and then now we really stepped up in the organization of everything, and so we actually took responsibility for our budget, and now we are a full-on student association with our own entity and budgets and management. Yeah.
Do you have also to pay for facility use? I guess you are using the facilities of the university. Is that correct?
We don't have to pay them because we are students. We are doing something within the university as a university project. So they give us the space. Of course, we have to ask them, we want to do this, and this, and they have to allow us. Or at the beginning, they said that we couldn't use the facility we are using to laminate. So we had to find another place to actually build the boat for essentially a risk management thing. And one of the things we did this year is to provide a document saying what the risks are. And so as in a real shipyard, you need to do a series of paperwork to say what's the risk and how we are dealing with it, give it to the university, and then they allowed us to use the spaces within the university.
Yeah, because all of this is not cheap. It is so we have seen you guys what you need to keep on for what. How are you for this year? So are you already covered for this year, or are you still looking for new sponsors or new? So can you, with the budget you already have, you can go through the end of the year, or how is it going?
So I don't think any of us really has their hands on the budget, but from what we get, it's all optimism. We're good, but at the same time, that comes because of the great number of collaborations that we had over these years. So we're always open to have new interactions, new sponsorships. But we're good. We are we're really we landed on our feet after the beginning, and now we're starting to go strongly ahead.
Yeah. Then we are always looking for new sponsorships, and it's always a continuous process. They never stop working to communicate with possible sponsors and presenting the project to various companies all over the place. And within this, the Salone di Genova or Salone di Venezia were very important because we were there where all the big companies meet. And so we can present ourselves to them and say, we exist, maybe you can give us some help in some way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's also a valuable skill, right? That's something that learning how to do is important. Yeah.
And not only presenting yourself, you are doing also a good job presenting the sponsors as well. This is a lot of value that you are also giving to sponsors. And one of the reasons also that somebody can think of sponsoring that, because you are very active. I think you are very active also in social media. You are very active in interviews with the press in Italy. I guess overall it is in Italy, and then you go to Venice, you go to Genoa, boat shows and so on. So it is a space that you are using. You are presenting the project, but all the sponsors are already there also with the logos and so on. So you are making this promotional thing also for them. So It is very, very useful for us. We are sponsoring you, and we have been working together from the beginning of the year. And so we are providing learning resources in our case, and I think you both are following some of our courses, right, at Revel Lab. How are you guys using the courses?
So I did Max Surf 1 course when we had this this agreement that we had, and yeah, it was really interesting. The software was provided by a university in order to have some super general stability assessment, computational stability assessment for our bachelor thesis, but it was never actually touched in any lectures. It was on this PDF file, 15 years old, with like 3 pages of the descriptions. Yeah, click here, do this. Like no real understanding of the software and its capabilities. But once I had some free time, I dived in, and it's really, really, really complex. Like lot of possibilities, lot of applications for the software. So having kind of onboarding experience with a guided hand, it was comfortable. I also have I'm also supposed to do a CFD course on OpenFOAM, which I've been kind of scared about because I'm not too deep into that yet, but I'm finishing up in June next year. So probably I'll try and do it by the end of it so I can complete my preparation. It's something I should be interested in, I think.
I also followed a course, which is Composite 1. And within the course, there's an explanation of the practical lamination techniques, also the more advanced one. And you're never taught that in the lessons. Then I followed this course after building Alba, so some of the things I already got to know them within the Revel Sailing team. But there's also some techniques that are very interesting, and we are maybe trying to think of using them for the foils, for example. But we'll see if we can actually do it, because it's of course quite complicated to do them. The more advanced stuff, the normal infusion, we know how to do it, and we're pretty confident that we can do it properly. While some other techniques, also same resin infusion, but a bit different, we're not too sure, so we are gonna try it and see how it goes. And also there's a bit at the end of the course where it goes really deep in the classic laminate theory, and that's something that we don't do at the bachelor, but I think they do it in the master, Gagliotti. So I skipped the gun a bit. Already know some of the stuff that I'm gonna learn at the university later on.
Okay, well, nice to know that. You might be also interested. Now we are preparing a lot of new courses, and it's going to be another composite material course, much more focusing on manufacturing and building, and with mold preparation of mold and building of molds and everything from this point of view. So and we are hoping to launch it at the beginning of next year. So it will be more production and building focus. And we are also starting to work on a foil design course as well. So this is something that you might be also interested in soon as well. So we are hoping also for the beginning of next year. So
and also it's a really good instrument to just realize that continuity that we were talking about, because having it's an hypothetical. We're getting people on board right now, but in the possibility of it having these courses to do a pretty fast onboarding process of the people that join us halfway through, because right now we are, let's say, 60-70% done with the design part of the month. There's still a lot to do. There's still a lot of things to put into reality, and bringing people on board right now, it's complicated, absolutely complicated. We had 1 year to discuss everything, and they have not. So having some kind of fast track to join on the activities, it's quite useful.
Yeah, this is what we were saying before, and one of the main reasons we wanted to also start this sponsorship with you. It is because we think we can give value on this knowledge transfer, so that people join the team, or when people leave the team, you have still the base knowledge there, so you can train the new people and you can gain the skills and make this onboarding process, which as you were mentioning before, I think Lorenzo, you told that before. In 2015 or around, so the team was there, but the people disappear and nobody was there to, and a lot of the knowledge and all the things that they learned during this year, that disappeared, which is really something sad, I would say, that all this work, nobody has it, and you had to start from zero. So do you have any, or you see any entrepreneurship ideas coming out of the team? So I was thinking when we were discussing, so you are really privileged in the sense that you are in a university environment and you are trying things, and somehow, well, you need your budget, you need your sponsors and so on, but it is easy somehow fail and learn. While if you were already in the wild, well, like a company, so it is maybe more difficult to do that. So you are in a situation which is extraordinary, I guess. And you see that maybe among you on some of the ideas, people are saying, well, all what we are learning here, so we have to keep it, and we are going to build a company, or we are going to follow, what we are learning here, and we are going to bring some entrepreneurship ideas. This is something that you are sometimes are thinking or discussing, or you see some movements in that direction?
Not in the design team for now, at least.
Okay.
We are really busy with what we do, but there has been some ideas of actually bringing our work with us through this project, this team, and making it maybe an option, a reality for working self of tomorrow. So the people that are thinking about the foils have so many crazy ideas, like bar ideas, beer ideas, but still about integration of AI technology into foil shapes. And then there's the Scantling guy that's talking about, yeah, but what if we do all of these kind of tests? It's a really stimulating environment, and I think what you were looking for is just one step ahead. We just need that spark, and there could be, yeah, absolutely some entrepreneurship. Yeah, it's a pretty difficult word for Italians. Possibilities, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there has been some talk of maybe someday becoming a proper company. So in this regard, also outside of the university, but nothing in particular for now. We'll see in the future. Maybe there's something good coming our way.
Okay. And you, Andrea, touched a very, very important thing as well, that also Winston, I think it is one of he's very interested, and we are all very interested, is AI. So are you using AI somehow, or are you planning to use AI for some of the activities in the future, or you have this necessity of saying, well, we are not using now, but absolutely we have to take a look and see how we bring it into the project?
Yeah, so the beginning phase of the moth design was a really long period of preparation, studies, and general brainstorming. And so we started going deep onto the research papers and all the different, innovative and present day articles that were around. And for example, AI got really cited, not more into the, language model side, but more on the deep learning side for profile applications. So the idea is that you could use this technology to create from this black box of information that you get about your particular design. So like for 100 moth that are built, you train this model that then could draw out the best, or the one, like depending on the factors, obviously, but pretty good and reliable foil shape for our design. And we started investigating a bit into that. The thing is, obviously, it takes a lot of resources and a lot of knowledge that was not readily available at the beginning. But this also came with other non-AI related innovations and techniques that we discovered. And so we made the decision at the beginning of the project to have all of these inputs to be a possibility for our future. So we one of our standing points for our design is the modularization and like to always keep the door open to have some modifications. For example, the foils are going to be probably not permanently connected to the hull, and so if we want to try out a new design, if we want to maybe use AI to try out different foil, and then we can just slot it in and compare it with our results. You know, it could be an interesting master thesis campaign or entrepreneur internship. We'll have to see, but we have had some possible applications. Yeah.
Awesome. We've been using it for regulations. Really, it's great. We have like almost agents. Do you know what I mean? So our students they have access to almost like an agent or a bot, and super useful in terms of finding information quickly, and then it tells you why it's important and how it's connected to Lloyd's and DNV and different things. So super useful, but in terms of pure design, there's still a ways to go as far as all that goes. Yeah, you bet.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think one of the main challenges there it is to have the training data.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
Because if you don't have thousands of data points of data, it is very difficult to infer. And then it is not something that is going to come up with something completely new. It will be interpolate somehow. So it will give you in the space, data set space, it will give you the best solution, but it's very difficult that it will not give you something out of the space. So generating something new, or at least the models that we are usually using. We have also a course on our app, and it is interpolation actually. But we are using a very big data set, which is the MIT data set for hulls. It is 30,000 different hulls with a lot of resistance, and there you can be quite sure that you can find which is the hull shape that brings the value that you need for your design. But it will be within the limits of the data set, but it can also point you in that direction.
Yeah, I'm doing that course, and I'm really looking forward to having how the guys are unfolding that whole thing. So I'm not very far in yet, but yeah, I'm looking forward to diving in there.
Okay, so if we want to find, we know how to find you, but if people want to find you and want to contact you, how is the best way to do it? Where are you guys active?
Well, we have our social media pages or Instagram, on LinkedIn, and other social media. Then there's the idea of maybe someday getting a website going. We had a few problems this year, so it's not up and running right now. But we'll see, maybe also the website. And always we will be in the various boat show and other nautical events to promote ourselves. And so you can probably find us there if they are somewhere here in the area.
You are looking for sponsors. You said before there is some specific thing that now you are looking for, something that you will say, well, this is something we really need now. Maybe you can already sell your case.
Yeah, well, there's nothing we really need like explicitly right now, but if we had a wink at somebody, it would be somebody in the clothing and sports and like practical sailing stuff. Yeah, okay. But in general, we're really open to every kind of collaborations. We will try and get things to work with everybody.
Okay.
I actually have I have one more question. So as I was kind of digging around online, learning about the team and about you guys, I saw some videos that you have on YouTube, and one of them was, I think it was as you were building Alba. I don't think you had named the vessel yet, or you had thought about names, but then I saw in the video you went out and there was a beautiful sunset, and then you came back in, and all of a sudden you had to name the vessel Alba. So I'm not Italian, and I don't know what's going on there. But can you explain how you came up with the name?
The moment you're referring to is when we did the first infusion of the hull, and it started at 5:58 in the morning, and at some point someone went out and saw the sun, and so it was born at dawn.
Oh,
Alba,
gotcha.
in Italian.
Oh,
so
okay,
that's the sail number 5:58, and also the name of the boat.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, Alba
It's a
literally
really
means
special,
sunrise.
special moment.
Yeah.
So Alba is sunrise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful.
We have the same word also in Spanish, alba, al alba, yes.
Yeah.
Do you have already a name for sumos, or are you still waiting for kind of a cosmologic?
There is a placeholder right now, but yeah,
We also
we'll
had a name for Alba, but then this happened, so we had to change the name. So right now it's just a placeholder for the mod, and we'll see.
Perfect.
We want to wait for the official release. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Lorenzo and Andrea. It's been a pleasure to talk with you. So, as I said, we were following you, and we saw the excellent results you did in the 1001 Vela Cup, and we were very happy. And we say, well, we have to contact them, and we want to talk to them so that they explain us what they are doing and your next project. Hopefully, more people will also like to sponsor you, as you are also doing a great job, and also for the sponsors as well. Thank you, Wisdom, also for co-hosting this with me, and to everyone watching or listening. Thank you for joining us. We hope you enjoyed this discussion as much as we did. If you'd like to learn more about yacht design, naval architecture, or also engineering, you can visit us at navalup.com. Don't forget to like, share, or subscribe if you'd like to stay updated on future episodes. Until next time, take care and fair winds to all of you. Bye.